What's up, guys? In this video we're doing a blaster seat, as you can tell. So I already ripped my old one off, and this seat was a modded seat that someone already shaved at some point, so it's not that big of a deal. But I am doing a JetTrim Macc Mod seat, so you have to remove the foam. This is where it gets a little crazy. We're starting to mock it up. Me and my dad are doing this one together. So we already cut this piece and this piece. Someone already removed this at some point, which sucks, so I have to re-glue that. But as of right now, this is where we're at. You don't need this anymore. And we're going to be grinding this blue line off with a sander and somehow tapering this up more, basically to this plastic lip. As you can see underneath, we're just cutting off a little bit at a time so you can't mess up, and then it's going to be tapered up smooth into this and smooth up to here. So I will update you along the way. This is a first for me. It's quite nerve-wracking because, as you guys know, they are 30-year-old skis, so you can't really get a seat anymore. So this is where we're at right now, and I will update you along the way with any tips that we find out, or if we mess up. Hopefully we don't, but this is it so far. All right, so my dad just went at the front piece of foam with the grinder and made it somewhat flat to what we're thinking from the photos. And we are going to do the same now with the rear. Again, these are rough lines we drew. We have no idea if any of this is correct or not, but it looks pretty damn good in my opinion. But we're just going along to get along at this point. So I'll update you once we are done grinding the rear. So we noticed that once we grinded out all the foam, that when this is hooked up on the front and you slowly start to work your hump back, that the foam is getting caught on this outer lip, and then on the rear is completely protruding out like a big bump. So what we marked is that, see on this one from factory it's flush. These need to be cut flush also on the fronts and the rears so that it won't be sticking out on the plastic. So what we did is we just traced it, and then on the rears we did the same thing to get a line that we have to cut off to make it flush. So you could see it like that. So we're gonna do that really quick, grind them off, and go from there again. All right guys, so the next step we kind of rushed, but we just used 3M spray adhesive and sprayed both sides of the seat and the plastic and glued this down. We worked from the front and the rear simultaneously and worked it all out towards the middle, because when we were mocking it up, if we started from the front, glued the big swale down, and then got to the rear actually ended right here. So anyways, we worked from the front and back and worked our way towards the middle. And now we're cutting out the sides for the plastic pieces to go in. With this seat cover, you still need the plastic pieces underneath the seat. So we used a straight edge from right to the rear corner, and we kind of split it that our line was between these two center marks. So if you look, the Sharpie kind of ends right in front of this one, but I guess right in the middle. But that's where we're at right now. So we're just cutting out the foam, and then our next step will be grinding the rest of the hump down. Just figured I'd show you. This side is now cut, provided by my dad. Yep. And then this is what it'll look like with the plastic piece screwed back in. Okay, so the plastic pieces are on. Our next step is for grinding this hump out. Someone already grinded a little bit, so it looks probably less aggressive than what you guys would have. But we measured from this point to here 3 inches, and then 3 inches up all the way around on the back. So if you look, same thing, 3 inches, drew a line. So this whole spot back here from the bottom of your seat to the top of the line is 3 inches. And then we took a point with a straight edge, wherever it is. But anyways, we found like the lowest part of the seat and then took another straight edge and went from the lowest point here to this 90 that we made. So my dad will hold it up. So basically that's how you get your angle. That's where our line is. So now we're gonna grind all this out and feather in from here to this 3-inch mark. So the 3-inch mark is really where you want to be, and then everything else you just got to feather back to there. So that's what we're going to do really quick. Grind work is officially done. It was a lot more grinding I think we both expected, and there was foam flying everywhere. So use a shop vac when you do it, and to be honest, shop vac doesn't even really help that much, but it maintains it a little bit. But that's it. We got it, I'd say, pretty damn close, in my opinion. We kept using straight edges to check it, and this was only there because someone prior cut the foam and we had to re-glue it. But that's that, and next step is the seat cover. All right, guys, quick update. We started and put a center line on the seat base itself to get the center stitching part, and we put one starting at the top and then one on the bottom. Again, underneath here there is a center mark so we could find it. And then we started to do the hardest parts, which are the corners. So we did this corner and that corner. And on the seat, we started to notice when we were going to pull the front corners that the plastic was going to get in the way. So if you look at this stock seat, this plastic sticks out on the outside of it a pretty good amount. And when the new cover from JetTrim, you go to pull on it, it actually goes over the plastic like we're doing now. So this was just going to be a very big pain in the ass. So we just decided to cut it off. We don't know if this is right or wrong, but it looks way better in our opinion. So we just used the multi-tool and chopped it. So that's a little update, and we're going to go back to stapling. All right, guys, seat's done. Got not much to say except use a heat gun. It helps a lot to stretch it. But what do we end up doing? We started, like I said, stapled the front middle and the back middle, and then worked the corners, as you can tell. And from the corners we went to the bottom ones, and then we slowly started to stretch the bubble out of the middle, because from stapling the front and the rear it was just a big bubble, and all that really was just a lot of heat and pulling down and really working it. Not much to say except it's a 2-person job. It's definitely not a 1-person job.
Invest in one of these bad boys.
Yeah, get a staple gun, air compressor one. It's amazing. Best thing we ever purchased.
Stainless steel staples.
Yep, we were using 5/16 stainless steel so they won't rot. And as you can tell, we were not shy with staples anywhere. We did not want this to pop. We shot it up like a machine gun, but you could tell we worked every corner perfectly, no creases. So it is doable. It's not the easiest, but definitely came out sick. So, but that's it.